The cap on private parking fines, good news to many people, will be reduced from £100 to £50 as part of a government crackdown on private firms. They'll have to display prices more clearly, introduce a fairer system for appeals and give drivers a grace period for late fines.
Well, Barrie Segal is a parking ticket expert and the author of Barrie Segal's Quick Guide to Fight for Your Parking Ticket. He joins us now. Welcome to the programme. I suppose this is something that affects so many people and we've all overstayed a little bit and maybe been slapped with a ticket we found unjustified. How significant are the changes to the rules now? How will they actually help people in the real world?
Well, the real problem is that private parking tickets are dealt with totally differently from council parking tickets. At the moment, there are something like 22,000 private parking tickets issued every day. And the procedures are, in my view, extremely unsatisfactory. Can I just read what the Minister for Levelling Up said? Private firms issue roughly 22,000 parking tickets every day, often not adopting a system of misleading and confusing signage, aggressive debt collection and unreasonable fees, designated to extort money from motorists. Well, I think that's what they called Dick Turpin. Councils, on the other hand, are not blameless, but they do at least offer a system of parking enforcement which is governed by a law, and at the moment it's like the Wild West.
And what a parking, before I ask my question, what is a parking ticket expert? Does that mean you've been subject to many parking tickets in your life? Because I think I know a few of those, if that's the definition. Well, how did you get into this area?
Well, roughly 20 years ago, my wife and I kept getting these parking tickets, which we should not have got, and I started to appeal them, and I realised that the system was weighted against the motorists. So I set up a website called appealnow.com a year later, 19 years ago, and I've been helping motorists fight their parking tickets ever since. The big change has been the enormous increase in private parking tickets, and I get lots and lots of inquiries from members of the public, and perhaps the strangest ones are the people often get private parking tickets in the parking garage where they live, which is quite astonishing. And I'm helping a chap now who's had 8, and in my view, totally unreasonably. So it's a situation getting worse. And I don't think the government's proposals, although they're good, go far enough.
Take the incredibly unpopular side of the argument here. Why on earth should the government tell me, if I owned a patch of land and I wanted to make that a private car park, why on earth, what business does the government having telling me how much I can charge for my car park, how much I can fine people for not obeying the rules of my car park? If I own that land, surely I should be able to do what I want with it.
Well, in theory, you can. But, for example, there's legislation which defines what are unreasonable contracts. And if, for example, you decide to charge somebody £1,000 an hour, good luck to you. But get anybody to park on there, well, I think you won't get anybody. The problem really is that the situation has got completely out of hand, and the unfairness that is perpetrated on the average motorist who wants to be law-abiding and abide by the rule is really quite unacceptable nowadays.
I suppose many people would agree with that, and I'm sure many people have been stung perceptively unfairly. I haven't myself, but that's because I actually don't have a driver's licence yet. That's something I'm working on.
There is that barrier. Yeah, well, Barrie Segal, thank you so much for joining us and bringing the good news to many motorists. I'm sure they will appreciate that. Barrie Segal there, parking ticket expert and author of Quick Guide to Fight Your Parking Ticket.
Do you know what? I remember watching a comedian called Joe Lycett go through... There's a video online of him explaining a fight with a council, and I think council parking tickets are far more unjustified than private parking tickets, because, of course, they're set by politicians, and everyone hates politicians. But the way... I think he had this email chain where it went back and forth. Very, very good. Worth looking up if you get the time.